What's up, y'all? Back at you with a new training video. We got arms today. It's the first time I've done arms. Typically in the past, I don't have an arm day, but I've switched up a little bit recently because I felt a little bit banged up. So it's kind of a form of active recovery because it's not a super strenuous day. So starting off with rope press downs, I typically always start with rope press downs. Just get the elbows warm. Start light and work up. Booty shot, Katie Heron booty shot. But there's a couple different heads of the tricep, medial, lateral, and long head, and I'm doing different movements to target those different areas. So this, is mainly going to be the long head. Medial and lateral are going to be hit, especially the rope at the bottom with the lateral, but it's mainly going to be the long head. So start with this, both to warm up the elbows and to hit the long head. So this is my one work set. Well, I have two work sets, but this is my first work set, and it's just going to be, I believe I do a triple drop here.
Triple drop, triple drop.
Yeah, triple drop. So this is, I don't get fancy. I don't change things up. And when I drop it, I focus on squeezing. But I don't change things up for my other training protocols or ideology. I'm still doing my one heavy set for the most part, and then doing back down focus squeeze set. Typically though, what I'll do for arms, because the arm's not super resilient, the joints, the elbow, and the shoulder. So typically I'll go a little bit higher rep so I don't have to use as much of a load. It kind of sucks because at this point the load's going to be kind of heavy anyways because of my strength. But we try to negate that as much as possible. And this is something I learned through DC training, or dog crep training, which is rest pause training. And this is going to be my back down set. I just back the weight down, like 50%, just squeeze, focus on the contraction. But anyways, I learned that through what's called dog crep training, which is rest pause, and it's focused on progressive overload. And it's Dante Trudell. He gives different rep ranges for different body parts, just from a joint integrity standpoint. Something like the back, you can usually go a little bit heavier, but the arms, you don't want to go crazy and snap your shit up. So longevity is key for anything we do here. So I'll either start with triceps and then go into biceps, or go back and forth, and today we decided to go back and forth. I wanted to get that mad pump, so just back and forth, tricep, bicep as far as movements. Going into hammer curls here, start with this. And you have to be smart. It's very easy to go really heavy with hammer curls. It's very easy and get sloppy. This is my work set. I'm using 50s. You'll see I'm not getting too crazy with the movement. I'm trying to keep my elbow back. You'll see a lot of people, their elbows will come up vertically. I've gone up to like 70s on this, but I like to make sure that I'm getting a contraction on knee rather than just lifting with my ego. So, and I even extend that ideology because I do these 50s, and then I'll drop down to 30s and hit those, more focused. So you'll see that in a second. I was a little bit stronger today than I thought I'd be, so I did about 922 reps. So it'll be a minute. Come on. So here, dropping it down to the 30s. I think I go bilateral on this instead of unilateral. Yeah. And just really focus on squeezing here. same ideology as anything else. Well, I kind of do things a little bit different, but I drop it down, and I'm doing tempo work here, holding the squeeze at the top, slow concentrics. So it's kind of goofy. I probably got less reps with this than I did originally with the 50. So I mean, I have fatigue going on obviously from that first heavy set, but it shows you that you can make a lightweight pretty heavy. And that's again that's good for longevity. If you don't have to use 200 pounds for something, if you can use 100 pounds and make it just as heavy, put just as much tension on the muscle, it's going to save your joints. So
Gonna do some
I'm not telling you not to go heavy, because obviously I do heavy sets here, but be smart. I mean, my heavy sets are limited, and again, the rep range is higher for this particular body part or session. So just be smart about what you're doing. So we go into body weight dips here. Again, I was kind of strong today, so I think I did 50 for this first set. I was just typically when I do body weight dips, I'll do them to failure, and I was surprised because in the past I've gotten like 30. So I was pretty strong today. I'm not mad about it. This is not something I do all the time, because working in those high rep ranges, I mean, it can be lucrative. You can see growth through different pathways. Type 1 fibers, you can see metabolic stress, but it's not going to be as lucrative as those lower rep ranges with a higher load. So my training partner was having a little bit of a hard time doing body weight dips, so we went into seated dips, and I just did another heavy set. I worked up. I went 1 plate, 2 plate, and then we got to 3. And I did this 3 for 20. So these are going to hit every area the tricep dips are. So again, we're making sure we hit all areas. And the last movement I do is going to be focused on the lateral head. So we're hitting all heads of the tricep, making sure to do so.
Boom.
And same goes with the hammer curls at the start of biceps. We're going to be hitting the brachialis, which is very underutilized with supinated bicep movement. So going into the good old preacher curl here. Again, warming up like I do with anything. Even if the muscle is warm, I've told you guys, I like to get my nervous system in the movement pattern.
How do you feel about that, Nick?
I'm 12
This is an
sometimes.
important question. This is going to make or break our workout. See if I fucking answer it right.
Should you do what? Drop set or?
No, don't laugh. Don't smile. Serious. What's the answer?
What?
Drop set or rest pause?
Drop set.
Drop set? Be positive. Is that your final answer? You want to use a lifeline? You want to use a lifeline? You want to call a friend? Okay, let's call. Who do you want to call? Drop set? Hold on. Someone's sexting.
Did you say someone's sexting you?
So we're going to preacher curls,
Or
being
not.
a goofball. I like to have fun. We have fun and we work when we need to. But so again, I like to, even if the muscle's warm, I like to get the nervous system in the pattern of the movement I'm doing. So we're going really light here. Oh, this might be a work set. I might not show you that set. Yeah, this is my work set. I'm sorry, but I did a light warm up set before this, and I believe I do. I don't know, whatever, either rest pause or drop set, whatever we talked about in the beginning. We'll see. We'll find out together. So drop set. So just drop set again.
Drop it
My
low,
one
where
heavy
it's slow.
intense set, and then we'll back down the next set and do a squeeze. So we'll see that in a second.
Nick, let's go. Oh, this really hurts. Come on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Well, this one, my freaking arms were on fire. I don't know why. This particular day, pump was crazy. It was burning. But I'm going into the squeeze set here, and I actually do something a little bit different. I like to vary it, use different techniques, and this is if you guys are familiar with a gentleman by the name of Jason Hunt. It's he does
Welcome
what
to
are
the
called high
gun
reps,
show.
and they're very short range of motion. And this is a little bit longer. This isn't as short as he does them, but I'm going down to where I feel tension coming off the bicep, and then I go back up. So constant tension to the maximum, and squeezing the whole time.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
So into something that looks goofy, but I actually like it, and I'll tell you guys, I kind of did this just to show you guys the movement, because typically what I do is I'll do chest, shoulders, I'll do a push day, I do chest, shoulders, and triceps, and what I like to do is when I'm moving from chest into triceps, or just, you know, sometimes I'll do chest first and then shoulders, and sometimes I'll switch. But whenever I go into triceps, I like to start with this because I feel it a lot in my chest, and I can contract my chest a lot at the bottom of the movement here. So I only do one work set here, and then we go over into overhand crossbody cable extensions. You'll see another unique exercise that I really like, just because I can feel a stretch in the lateral head, like a big stretch, and that's very unique of tricep movement. So you'll see that in a second. This here. So another warm-up set, and then I just do one work set because I already had a decent amount of volume in my triceps for me personally, so don't go crazy with the volume. I mean, you can see the stretch, of that head.
Turd nugget. Turd nugget.
It's gone wild. There, dude, it's gone wild.
So here's my work set. I probably actually could have gotten up and weight a little bit, but this is definitely probably a PR as far as weight and reps. But I mean, you can, if you just look, you can see the stretch going on. But so you'll see me. I tuck my other arm under my elbow, and that's to make sure that my elbow doesn't come back, because it's very easy to have the elbow come back towards your face, and that's going to take tension off the tricep where it needs to be. So I keep it there to kind of subconsciously keep my working arm steady. It gives you something to do with your hands, you know, so instead of just looking like a goofball. One note to make is, you know, I say we go heavy on these sets, but again, it goes back to joint integrity. I'm not getting sloppy in any way whatsoever. I'm not throwing around weights. You know, I'm not being dumb. It's heavy within the capabilities of that muscle. You know, so be smart. When I say heavy, I don't mean go crazy and throw shit around and bust your shit up. You know, heavy should be very heavy for that muscle, but for the muscle, not the joints and tendons. So finishing up, I really like these unique machine. Usually do them unilateral as like a concentration curl. I believe it's a hamstring machine. I'm not 100% sure though. But big squeeze on these, so I typically like to finish up with these again, this type of concentration. So again, a warm-up set first there, and then I go into working set, higher reps. I think I get like 15 or 16, somewhere around there. And I just do a straight set here because I mean, my arms are already fried at this point. So we just go through this, finish it off, and that will be totality of an arm day for me.